What is up, guys? It is Capital Coasters here, and welcome back to another video. And today I'll be bringing you guys my top 10 favorite airtime moments. Now, I love airtime. It's definitely one of my favorite parts about a coaster. I do prefer like positive G's, but I still love the awesome sensation that is airtime, and I've experienced plenty of great airtime moments. So making a list about just my top 10 is pretty difficult, but here are, in my opinion, the best airtime moments that I've experienced. Now, this list will include like sequences of airtime moments, like multiple airtime moments in a row on a coaster, and just like individual airtime moments, and I will limit this to just one airtime moment per coaster. But with that out of the way, let's just get straight into my top 10 favorite airtime moments. Alright, so coming in at number 10 is going to be the airtime hill into the first tunnel and the airtime hill right after it on Grizzly at King's Dominion. And these two hills are just crazy. Give great, jerky, strong ejector air. They're really rough, but just crazy and out of control fun. There's a lot of great airtime moments on Grizzly, but these two are definitely my favorite ones. Number 9 is going to be the awesome ending on Magnum XL 200. Now these crazy back-to-back airtime hills are just crazy. The triangular shape provides some crazy strong airtime, and they get stronger as they go on. The tunnels really add to them, and I love the setting right next to Lake Erie. Just super strong airtime, very consecutive back-to-back. Definitely really good airtime moments, and my favorite part, I guess, of Magnum XL 200. Alright, so coming in at number 8 is going to be the set of triple Camelbacks on Twisted Timbers. Now these elements are just, or these airtime moments are just so strong. They're like mini El Toro hills. They really throw you out of your seat, and the valleys are pretty intense. They're just so strong, especially when you get a night ride. When this thing is like really hauling, you get standing airtime with room. It's just such strong airtime. It's crazy. I love the consecutive back-to-back airtime moments. The reason it is a bit lower is just because, I don't know, I guess because I've experienced it so many times, I prefer some other airtime moments. But this is definitely a great moment, and definitely the best element on Twisted Timbers. Alright, so coming in at number 7 is going to be the awesome double down on Wicked Cyclone. Now this is definitely the best part of the ride, and most people would agree with me on that, and for good reason. This moment is great. You have that first airtime pop, which is some great ejector air, and you flatten out into that second, more sustained pop of ejector air, which is great. Combines a quick pop and a more sustained moment of ejector, and they're both pretty strong moments. There's just a lot of good airtime, and there's a pretty good sustained ejector air right after that, which is pretty good. The double down is just overall really fun. It's a great airtime, and it's definitely the best moment on Wicked Cyclone. Another great moment on our RMC will be sliding in at number 6, and this will be the awesome wave turn on Twisted Cyclone. Now, this is definitely my favorite wave turn out of the two I've experienced, the other one being on Steel Vengeance. This moment is very sustained. It gives really strong, powerful sideways ejector air. Especially later in the day when this thing's hauling, the airtime is so strong, really sustained. I like how it's sideways. It's just a really cool concept for an element. I love wave turns, and this is just such a good moment. Probably the best part of the ride. Yeah, definitely the best part of the ride, and it is one of my favorite airtime moments. Alright, so coming into top 5 territory will be the It Happens Hill on Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England. So if you guys don't know what hill this is, there are these two really strong ejector Camelbacks on Superman the Ride right after that overbank turn, and the It Happens Hill is the second one. The first one's really good, but this second one, the It Happens Hill, is absolutely crazy. In the back row, it's good, but not that amazing, but in the front row, it is spectacular. You get absolutely launched out of your seat, and you're just staying there for a couple seconds. It is just so strong, this airtime. It is crazy. It's by far my favorite moment of the ride, and it is just awesome. It's definitely the best moment in the park, and it's just such a strong, awesome airtime moment. Alright, so coming in at number 4 is going to be the awesome sustained ejector airtime hill on Intimidator 305. This ride is not focused on airtime at all. It's mainly focused on those crazy intense turns and strong laterals. But the airtime it does have is good. You have some hills later in the ride which gets some good ejector, but this hill gets some nice sustained ejector. It's a pretty large hill. It goes right under the lift hill. It's actually about half the height of the lift hill. It's a pretty big airtime hill. It's 150 feet tall. But it gets some nice sustained ejector area. You're out of your seat for a few seconds. It's pretty strong. And it's just a nice hill. It gives a nice variety along with, all those intense turns and, the rapid fire turns with crazy laterals and all that. I like that, add some variety. And it's just a really fun airtime hill. And it's definitely one of my personal favorite airtime moments. Alright, so just edging into the top 3 is going to be the awesome double up into the mid-course brake run on Steel Vengeance. Now, this wasn't actually always my favorite moment on Steel Vengeance. I used to prefer the giant outward bank turn. This was always the strongest airtime moment on the ride, but that was for a long time my favorite. But I've since realized that I think this is a better moment. Now that moment is really fun. It's some nice sustained airtime as outer bank, so it's really cool, but the airtime on that moment's not as strong, so that's why it's not as good as this moment. But this moment gives crazy strong airtime on both of the powerful sustained ejector moments. They give just both great airtime, really powerful and sustained, and just crazy, throwing you out of your seat. And the bank turn in between them gives some insane laterals that throws you around. So some crazy strong airtime and great laterals. Definitely a really good moment. My favorite element of Steel Vengeance. That is kind of an unpopular opinion, but it's just a really good airtime moment. Alright, so coming in at number 2 is going to be my favorite first drop of all time, and this is the amazing, legendary first drop on Skyrush at Hersheypark. And there are some really good first drops that come close to this, like the one on El Toro is great, the one on I-305 is great, Steve is a great drop. But this element is just crazy. It's like a double down, and how it's kind of like 2 airtime moments. You have a little bit of floater just coming off the lift hill. So at that point, you don't think it's that crazy. But then there's this little kink in the drop where you actually hit your, max vertical angle of 85 degrees. And you get absolutely ejected so hard. It doesn't even feel safe. It is just crazy. You get thrown into a super intense bank turn. That is just awesome. The airtime is so strong. I think the fact that it goes straight into a crazy strong positive moment just makes it even more insane. And just proves the insanity of Skyrush. It's just a crazy ride. It's definitely the best moment on this amazing coaster. And coming in at number 1 is going to be the legendary Rolling Thunder Hill on El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. This ride has so many great moments, but I think the Rolling Thunder Hill is by far the best moment. It used to go over the track of the now defunct Rolling Thunder, which is why it has its name. And it is just crazy after that sharp turn, or after those floater airtime hills with some great head choppers. You go into this crazy powerful airtime moment. It's got such a sharp crest, and that's why it's so strong. It's just such strong ejector. You go over it with quite a bit of speed, so you absolutely get thrown out of your seat. It is very quick pop of airtime, so it's not super sustained, but it just throws you out of your seat, and it's probably, I don't know if it's the strongest airtime moment I've ever experienced, but it's by far in the top 5, and it's just such a fun moment. It's definitely really good. It is my favorite airtime moment. And so, yeah, that'll be about it for my top 10 airtime moments. As you can see, I definitely like ejector airtime more than floater airtime. There were no floater airtime moments on this list, and that's just because I like that more intense sensation of ejector as opposed to kind of weaker floater. But, everyone has their own opinions on what types of airtime they like, but that was just my opinion. And there were plenty of great airtime moments that didn't make this list. Like, there's some great moments on Ride of Steel, some moments on Mind Bender at Six Flags Over Georgia, the ending on Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia, the final airtime hills on Fury. There's just some great airtime moments out there. These are just my 10 favorites. You guys can feel free to disagree, but that was just my opinion. But yeah, that's about it for this video. And I want to wish you all a happy Veterans Day. I want to thank all the veterans for their service. So that'll be about it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.